Welcome back. Well, today's book is about a little girl who's going to a new school. I mean, all of us have had to go to a new school at some point in our lives. But this little girl is going to a new school in a completely different country from where she was born. And it's a little tough. Let's read and find out what happens. My Name is Yoon. Written by Helen Rakovitz. Pictures by Gabi Sakaska. Helen was born, raised, and went to school in Rhode Island. She began writing her own stories and sharing them with her cousins when she was 8 years old. She now lives with her husband in a small town in Rhode Island, and they have 2 grown sons. She was an elementary school teacher for 25 years, but is now retired. Gabi was born in Poland, and at 16, she immigrated to New York City, where she attended the Cooper Union School of Art. She's the illustrator of 15 children's books and now lives in the south of France. She frequently exhibits her paintings and sculptures, and she was also a singer, songwriter, and upright bass player in an acoustic string band quartet. My name is Yoon. I came here from Korea, a country far away. It was not long after we settled in that my father called me to his side. Soon you will go to a new school. You must learn to print your name in English, he said. Here, said Father. This is how it looks. I wrinkled my nose. I did not like Yoon. Lines, circles, each standing alone. My name looks happy in Korean, I said. The symbols dance together. And in Korean, my name means shining wisdom. I like the Korean way better. Well, you must learn to write it this way, said Father. Remember, even when you write it in English, it still means shining wisdom. I did not want to learn the new way. I wanted to go back home to Korea. I did not like America. Everything was different here. But my father handed me a pencil, and his eyes said, "Do as I say." He showed me how to print every letter in the English alphabet. So I practiced, and my father was pleased. "Look," he called to my mother, "see how well our little Yoon does." "Yes," she said, "she will be a wonderful student." I wrinkled my nose. My first day at school, I sat quietly at my desk while the teacher talked about cat. She wrote cat on the chalkboard. She read a story about cat. I did not know what her words meant, but I knew what the pictures said. She sang a song about cat. It was a pretty song, and I tried to sing the words too. Later, she gave me a paper with my name on it. "Name Yoon," she said, and she pointed to the empty lines underneath. I did not want to write Yoon. I wrote cat instead. I wrote cat on every line. I wanted to be cat. I wanted to hide in a corner. My mother would find me and cuddle up close to me. I would close my eyes and mew quietly. The teacher looked at my paper. She shook her head and frowned. "So you are Cat?" she asked. The ponytail girl behind me giggled. After school, I said to my father, "We should go back to Korea. It is better there." "Do not talk like that," he said. "America is our home now." I sat by the window and watched a little robin hop, hop, hop in the yard. He is all alone too, I thought. He has no friends. No one likes him. Then I had a very good idea. If I draw a picture for the teacher, then maybe she will like me. It was the best bird I had ever drawn. "Look, Father," I said proudly. "Oh, this makes me happy," he said. "Now do this." And he showed me how to write bird under the picture. The next day at school, the teacher handed me another Yoon paper to print. But I did not want to print Yoon. I wrote bird instead. I wrote bird on every line. I wanted to be bird. I wanted to fly back to Korea. I would fly to my nest, and I would tuck my head under my little brown wing. The teacher looked at my paper. Again she shook her head. "So you are bird?" she asked. Then I showed her my special robin drawing. I patted the red dress, and then I patted the red robin. I lowered my head and peeked up at her. My teacher smiled. "How was school today, daughter?" my mother asked. "I think the teacher likes me a little," I said. "Well, that is good," my mother said. "Yes, but at my school in Korea, I was my teacher's favorite. I had many friends. Here, I am all alone." "You must be patient with everyone, including yourself," my mother said. "You will be a fine student, and you will make many new friends here." The next day at recess, I stood near the fence by myself. I watched the ponytail girl sitting on the swings. She watched me too. Suddenly, she jumped off the swing and ran over to me. She had a package in her hand. The wrapper said, "Cupcake." She opened it and gave me one. She giggled. I giggled too. When we were back in school, the teacher gave us more printing papers. I did not want to write Yoon. I wrote cupcake instead. I wanted to be Cupcake. The children would clap their hands when they saw me. They would be excited. "Cupcake," they would say. "Here is Cupcake." The teacher looked at my paper. "And today you are Cupcake," she said. She smiled a very big smile. Her eyes said, "I like this girl, Yoon." After school, I told my mother about my ponytail friend. I sang a new song for my father. I sang in English. "You make us so proud, little Yoon," my mother said. Maybe America will be a good home, I thought. Maybe different is good too. The next day at school, I could hardly wait to print, and this time I wrote Yoon on every line. When my teacher looked at my paper, she gave me a big hug. "Aha! You are Yoon, she said. Yes, I am Yoon. I write my name in English now. It still means shining wisdom. The end. Yoon is great, isn't she? I like how she says exactly what she's feeling inside. Can you picture yourself in a new classroom, in a new country, and not being able to understand what the teacher was even saying? Oh my, that was really brave, wasn't it? And I really liked how Ponytail Girl became Yoon's friend. Sometimes we're going to be the new kid in school or a job, and there will be people like Ponytail Girl who will welcome us and be our friends and show us the ropes, right? And sometimes it's the opposite. It will be up to us to smile and be helpful to a new person. Loving your neighbor doesn't have to be hard or complicated, does it? Sometimes it can be as simple as sharing a cupcake. See you next week. Bye-bye.